Hey everybody, welcome to Cooking with Vince. If you're new here, please like and subscribe to the channel. It would be highly appreciated. Today we're going to be reacting to a new content creator by the name of Alex, and the video is actually going to be how he's been making pesto the wrong way his entire life. Never seen this video. Really interesting to see what it's all about, and I'm going to let you know what I think.
This video is sponsored by AG1. This pesto tastes like none of the pesto I've made in my life. None. What's up guys? Salut! This is Alex. So you guys know how much of a fan I am when it comes to Italian cuisine, right? And maybe Italian pasta more specifically. Now, I've covered pasta extensively, I feel, with carbonara, amatriciana, cacio e pepe, and of course, gricia. There's another one that I want to pay homage to today, and it's pasta al pesto. So just in case you're living on planet Mars, this is a basil-based sauce for pasta. So for the first 25 years of my life, this was pesto to me. I vividly remember myself pouring half of that jar in a salad bowl packed to the brim with overcooked pasta and then stuffing my face with the whole thing. I loved it. This was my introduction to Italian pasta sauces. I'm not super proud of this, not ashamed either. I feel like tasting it again is the right thing to do right now. You can probably tell by my reaction, it's not very enjoyable, okay? I'm trying to determine what it tastes like, what the flavors are, but I'm having a hard time. There is a basil flavor. I know what it tastes like. It tastes like dry basil, which I've never liked in the first place. Delicate herbs should be enjoyed fresh. Tough, pungent herbs can be dried, like thyme, rosemary, all these, fine. But parsley, basil, tarragon, you can't dry them. The flavors are shifting when you do this. I'm not a fan of criticizing for the sake of it. I'm just saying I don't eat this anymore. I make it myself.
He's exactly right. So when you use dried basil in your pesto, you're not going to have that fragrant flavor that you normally have with fresh basil out of the garden. It's going to have a lot stronger of a basil aroma than the dried basil, and it's just going to make a bigger difference in your end result.
Basil, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, pine nuts, garlic. These are the ingredients of an authentic pesto. There's no question about these. Now, let me show you the method I've been using to make pesto since I got serious in the kitchen. Pesto. Real flavor, grassy, some richness, some unctuousness. I'd say still slightly grainy, but let's be honest, this is a pesto to be proud of. You serve this to me in a restaurant over pasta, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I mean, right now, I wouldn't be so fine with it if it's an Italian restaurant, because there's been a little glitch in the system. You look for pesto recipes online, I'm telling you, 99% of them call for a food processor. And yet, there is one video that doesn't call for it. One video, one little grain of salt that just crushes my whole stomach. Let's watch it.
Now, in my opinion, I think that if you're going to use a food processor, it does make sense to slowly emulsify the basil after you've emulsified the extra virgin olive oil with the garlic and the cheese. Because if you try to just throw it all into a food processor and just blend it up all at the same time, you're not going to get maybe the consistency that you would want out of a really creamy basil or a very creamy pesto sauce that you're normally used to. So that's the only thing I would say in terms of like how Alex just did it there. But let's just see what he has to say.
Let's watch it. Pesto, the OG recipe. Of course, it is Italia Squisita, the authority when it comes to all things Italian.
Mauro Ricciardi, lavoro al ristorante Mauro Ricciardi.
Sono Giuliano Sperandio e sono lo chef di cucina del ristorante Le Clarence a Parigi.
So these two Italian super chefs, these two legends, are making pesto in the most traditional way.
Ecco, ora io continuo a inserire queste foglie qua.
The elephant in the room, they are not using a food processor, they're using a pestle and mortar. What they get at the end is what really struck me. Nothing like the pesto that I just made. Look at the texture, look at the color. Pale, fluorescent green. It's like a cream. This tastes good. But this and this, it's not the same stuff, okay? These are different products. I want the real deal. We got a plan. So if we want to go super traditional, we have to use a pestle and mortar. Now these are 3 pestle and mortars that I've bought over the years. With a pestle and mortar this big, it's just a matter of spilling, splashing everything around. Not super useful. I mean, this one, I thought it was a smart move at first, but it turned out to be a mistake. Having the bowl that is made out of wood, so the softest material, is wrong. Especially when the pestle is made from super hard granite. Because every time you've got seeds or like peppercorns in there and you're trying to pound them, they just get imprinted in the bowl. So this combination doesn't work. And that leaves us this one. This is the pestle and mortar that I want to use today. Now, in all honesty, there still are 2 problems with this one. Number 1, number 2. This bowl, this mortar, is at room temperature. And that is not optimal. You see, in traditional pesto making, you want a cold mortar. And this cold is necessary to preserve this beautiful, light, almost mint green color. Now, I do have a very simple trick to help keep all this very cold. So this goes in my freezer.
Okay.
Problem number 2, this pestle is made out of stone. That's all well and good when you're willing to grind hard peppercorns, but for tender basil leaves, we don't need this. We need the Italian version, which is always made out of wood. I don't have one, so I need to make one. This is how you turn a bed leg into...
I have to say, I got to give it to Alex for just going the extra mile. And in some regards, the extra mile. Going to Home Depot to make a wooden pestle for your pestle and mortar, and then also putting the mortar in the freezer so it's cold. Awesome. So I gotta give Alex credit for that. That's pretty awesome.
On swirling, I keep on, slowly spinning this pestle And I try to trust the process. I mean, who would have thought that making pesto, which is technically just a mix, would be this technical? And now it's time for the cheese. Some people go for pecorino romano, but I feel like Parmesan cheese or Parmigiano Reggiano is what you should be using. It brings something nutty and smooth and very complex to the game.
So with my pesto video, which I'll put in the as a link in the description below, I used a combination of both. I used Parmigiano Reggiano and I used Pecorino Romano, but I used more Parmigiano Reggiano and just a little Pecorino Romano just for that little extra bite that you may not normally get with Parmigiano Reggiano.
Wow, it's very complex, so many flavors. It's almost like drinking balsamic vinegar. Right, I think this is it. Wow, wow, that is very strong. Basil, in your face. Parmesan cheese, garlic, then you've got some richness behind it, but it's very strong. I can't end the video with me just licking this pestle. Okay, I'm gonna make pasta. Wow. As always, it's almost a shame to destroy that dish. Still gonna do it. Only one way to find out, right? That is very creamy. That is mayonnaise creamy. I'm not saying it tastes like mayonnaise, but it's mayonnaise creamy. Wow. That is also pretty pungent, pretty strong in terms of basil. I noticed that as I was making it. The smell is like, it's not overwhelming, but it's deep. It's very present, way more than with a commercially available pesto, even a good one. It's almost like this pesto is some sort of a basil concentré. It's like the essence of basil, almost to the point of being piquant. It's pungent. It's a beautiful dish. It's humbling to see how difficult this dish really is. It's just a pesto. You just mix everything in a food processor and you call it a day. No, it doesn't work like this. By adding one ingredient at a time in a pestle and mortar that's at the right temperature, in the right order, you're able to create something that is so much more than the sum of its parts. Now look, I'm not saying I'm never gonna make pesto in a food processor again, no. But I'm saying for special occasions, this is the way to go. It really is a beautiful recipe. I genuinely wish that you guys are gonna try this at home. I hope you enjoyed this video. We catch up in the next one. Bye-bye. Salut.
And that was a really awesome video, Alex. Definitely goes to show you that it's not just the ingredients that you use in a dish, but it's also going to be the attention to detail in the actual technique. And in this case, using a pestle and mortar is going to make the best possible product for pesto, creamy pesto sauce. Now, I will say that if you're making for a large crowd, it's not really going to be super ergonomic to use a pestle and mortar, but he's exactly right that if you're just cooking for a special occasion and you want the highest possible quality pesto sauce, this is going to be the way that you're going to achieve that. So that's my reaction to Alex's pesto video, why he's been doing it wrong his entire life. And again, I appreciate everybody watching. And if you're new here, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified when I create a new video. Okay, ciao.